Hey, what's the story? Yours truly, Philbo here, and welcome back to Philbo Reviews. Hope you're keeping well. Thanks a million for stopping by. Another movie review tonight, folks. Another brand new release here. Opened yesterday nationwide in Ireland and UK, and worldwide as far as I think. Maybe a couple of days ago we had the premiere in the USA, but we are talking about Lee Cronin's The Mummy. And in case you do not know, Lee Cronin is one of Dublin's own. He is born and raised in a small seaside town called Skerries in County Dublin in the Republic of Ireland. And this is his third feature film. The first one being The Hole in the Ground in 2019. A decent debut effort. Very reminiscent of other films, but nothing can be taken away from the vision and the direction and the cinematography of his debut film. A very valiant effort for a debut film, in yours truly, Philbo's opinion. Then he followed that up with Evil Dead Rise in 2023, which to this point is the most recent entry in the Evil Dead franchise. And me personally did not care for Evil Dead Rise at all. I'm a hardcore Evil Dead fan ever since the 1981 original, Sam Raimi's original trilogy, The Evil Dead, The Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. And once it got to the remakes and the reboots, what's his name? The Evil Dead remake in 2013, Fede Alvarez, I think was the name of the director, did absolutely nothing for me. Absolutely nothing whatsoever. And then Evil Dead Rise, unfortunately, while well directed by Lee Cronin, I just thought the setup of an Evil Dead situation in a high-rise apartment block did not suit, did not match up, and you know what, it just did nothing for me. But it made him lots of dolly. It made some major bucks at the box office. So now we have Blumhouse in with Lee Cronin, Dublin's own, and he has been put forward to bring out this movie, Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Now, the first thing that comes to mind is, why does he have his name on the opening title of the movie? He's not fucking John Carpenter. It's not like John Carpenter's The Thing, John Carpenter's Halloween. Do you know, he earned that right to have his name above a movie because it was original, it was his own. It was from his own mind, especially Carpenter, with Halloween. Not so much The Thing, but it was a remake. And we all know John Carpenter's The Thing is one of the best remakes ever fucking made. And the likes of Wes Craven's New Nightmare. He has the right to call it Wes Craven's New Nightmare because he created Freddy Krueger. He created A Nightmare on Elm Street. He has those props. He has those metal movie chops to put his name above a product without it sounding pretentious or out of place. So that's what struck me almost immediately with Lee Cronin's The Mummy. We obviously know the 1930s film with the incredible, oh Jesus Christ, fuck me, I can't remember his name. Oh my God, Frankenstein. Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck me running. The original Universal Monsters film, yeah? It'll come to me now in a second. Boris Karloff. Jesus, Harold Christ. I'd be fucking crucified by the movie fucking demons. The horror movie demons that haunt this fucking premises. Boris Karloff, of course. Slap on the wrist. Apologies, my horror friends out there. Boris Karloff's. It's been a long old day. But Boris Karloff's The Mummy, back in the 1930s of the Universal Monsters, is the epitome, the absolute. It's an incredible film. The original The Mummy is fantastic. I suggest you check it out. You can get a box set on Blu-ray of like the first 8 original Universal Monsters. You can get it on 4K as well. They're all brilliant. Dracula, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, the Wolf Man, the Invisible Man, The Creature from the Black Lagoon, Phantom of the Opera, The Mummy, and I think there's one more. Bam, 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 bam. Do you know what? I think that might be it. But incredible films. Now this is, I don't understand. I know Lee Cronin. I know this for a fact. He did not want his name at the front of this movie. This was Blumhouse's idea to add some kind of hype, to add some kind of buzz to the experience, saying this is Lee Cronin's unique, crazy, unbelievable take on the Mummy. It's violent, it's crazy, it's unhinged. It's Lee Cronin's The Mummy. And that's the kind of expectation you have going into it, which is fine. I mean, I know Lee Cronin did not want his name on the top of it, and I totally get why. But the powers that be, the producers, Jason Blum and Blumhouse, what they say, you say jump, they say jump, you say how high, sir. And at the end of the day, with that said, the reviews for this have been very mixed from what I've been hearing over the last couple of days from the USA, because they did get the movie first with the premiere, I think maybe 3 days ago. But I went into this with an open mind. I went into this with every hope that one of our homegrown, literally from my neck of the woods, I live like 10 minutes from where Lee Cronin was born and raised. I mean, like, I want nothing more than complete success for all Irish artists. Music, Damien Dempsey. Actors, Robbie Walsh. The whole crew. I mean, directors, Robbie Walsh as well. Fucking massive shout out to Robbie Walsh. My personal favourite director in Ireland today. Lee Cronin, everyone. I want them all to succeed with fucking flying colours. So, without further ado, make yourself comfortable. Get yourself a beer. It is a Saturday night after all. And sit tight and enjoy yours truly, Philbo's review of Lee Cronin's The Mummy. As per usual, this is a completely spoiler-free review, so I will be giving you practically little or nothing as far as detail of this movie goes, okay? It's not how I roll, it's the opening weekend. I have no place to talk spoilers here. I want you to get out and check it out and then give your opinion on the movie. But as I went in, the first thing that sprung to mind is this film, as far as positives go, so I'll start off with the positives. This film is so well shot. It's got beautiful cinematography. The Cairo scenes and the Egypt scenes are absolutely beautiful. We have some good humour in the first act of the movie, which I always appreciate. It kind of lightens the tension and lightens the mood for the rest of the movie before what you get into. I thought the acting was fairly solid. In the grand scheme of things from everybody involved, we have Jack Rayner, an Irish actor. You may know him from a film called Sing Street. Jack Rayner, he plays Charlie, the husband. And then we have Lois Costa, she plays Larissa, the wife. And we have another character, Detective Dahlia, played by May Calloway. She is brilliant in the role. I mean, the film starts where the family are living in Cairo, Egypt, and then they, through circumstances, their daughter Katie goes missing. And then we move forward to 8 years later, and the family are back in the USA, and all of a sudden, completely out of the blue, their daughter Katie is found, and they get a phone call told that 8 years on, your daughter is found alive and somewhat well. So we have great performances from everybody. We have Natalie Grace as Katie. There's another younger girl as the younger Katie. But Natalie Grace as Katie is phenomenal. An absolute, kind of reminds you of Linda Blair in The Exorcist. Being absolutely put through the absolute fucking ringer for the sake of her performance. And she does absolutely excellent. I have no problems with the cast. I mean, the younger sister in the family is absolutely hilarious. The brother is fine as well. Forgive me, I don't remember both of their names. But it's a family of three. Katie, the eldest daughter, went missing in Cairo. Then, during the 8 years of her absence, she had Larissa and Charlie had a son and another younger daughter. And the younger daughter is great. She's funny. She's hilarious. She's cute as a bug's ear. There's nothing wrong with the casting there. But the only problem, do you know what? I'll save that for the negatives. Keeping with the positives, right? The acting is decent all around, with the exception of something. But I will get into that. I think the premise is very, very intriguing. I think a lot of reviews are saying that it's desperately unoriginal and there's no I think it's very well put together. I think essentially moving into my second positive is that I find the pacing to be very well. I like the bring back to the lore. I found it interesting. Again, not terribly original, but I still felt it engaging and it added to the story. We're dealing at 2 hours and 15 minutes here. And we need some lore, we need some backstory to what has happened, Katie, why has this happened, and what can you do to stop it. Like any other film, you need to find out what happened, how do you fix it, and how do you come up with a plan to succeed in your mission. And this film is no different. Now granted, it is essentially the fifth official major release in the Mummy universe, but I have no interest in Brendan Fraser's Mummy movies. I've never watched them. I've given them like 10-15 minutes here. The acting is so cheesy, the action is so over the top, the writing is so terrible, the CGI is fucking pathetic. I can't stand the Brendan Fraser movies, the Arnold Vosloo movies. I think they're absolute garbage. They were part of that 90s trend of fucking Twister, Independence Day, Dante's Peak, The Mummy, all these fucking disaster films with big special effects, because special effects were brand new to the fucking setup in 94, 95, and the acting was just abysmal. I can't watch it. Oh, but it's entertaining and it's fun and there's action. No. I don't like it. Fuck it. Can't stand it. The only Mummy film and the Tom Cruise film was okay. The Tom Cruise, The Mummy was okay, but had massive fucking issues as well. So the only Mummy that I put my fucking... there's hundreds of Mummy movies out there. There's an incredible one called Dawn of the Mummy that nobody fucking talks about. That's got a fucking Arrow release there about fucking 3 weeks ago. My favourite Mummy movie is the Boris Karloff original 1930s movie. These Brendan Fraser's one can fuck the fuck off. Maybe Lee Cronin and Blumhouse wanted to have audiences think that this was an extension of Brendan Fraser's movie, and then they'll come to the film, ching ching, here's your receipt, bang, pay their money, and they'll walk in and go, where's the fucking action? Oh my god, why is she vomiting? Ugh, I'm leaving. Ugh. And then they walk out and the fucking press are there. So, what did you think of the film? It was the most disgusting film I've ever fucking seen. Quote unquote. Bottom line is, don't believe the hype with the gore with this movie, alright? It is minimal at best. If people are disgusted and nauseated by this, they haven't seen enough films. In my opinion, the gore was more or less, run of the mill. There was one particular sequence of, I guess you could call it gore. If clipping someone's toenail and ripping off all the skin off their shin is gore, then I guess you could call it that. That was very original and very cool. And another scene with teeth was very original and very gnarly. Really, really enjoyed that. Very, very cool. So some of the gore was cool and unique. It had a general vibe of, dread. A general vibe of nastiness during the whole thing. But I think it was played very well. I think Lee Cronin has an incredible eye for camera angles, and the cinematographer does some incredible, creepy angles and some great atmosphere and a great vibe of dread during the whole movie. During the whole movie, it feels fucking off, it feels creepy, it feels fucking unpredictable, which is very enjoyable, and it helps The runtime. Everybody's fucking banging on about the runtime. I thought it was really well paced. Granted, you had to do some of the backstory stuff, but it kept you interested. The performances kept you interested. Now, the mixed aspects of the film, just the mixed, I think it leaned more into kind of an Evil Dead style film and an Exorcist style film, not so much as a mummy type film. Now, I wouldn't say the percentages are 50-50. I would say the film is, 40% mummy, 20% Evil Dead, and fucking 30% the Exorcist. I thought it had its, you could tell it had possession, Exorcist vibes here, and it had Evil Dead, gory, disgusting vibes here, but it also had a unique kind of texture to it that kept it with desert, kept it with the brown vibe, kept it with Cairo. That whole Cairo, Egypt vibe kind of made its way through the movie and didn't take you out of the vibe that had to remind you that this is the mummy. This is about an embalmed body discovered after being 8 years underground. I mean, I really enjoyed the production value on this. I enjoyed the cinematography. I enjoyed the house that everything was set in. The room with Katie's name tag on the side, on the outside, was very cool. Anytime you got a glimpse of Katie's room, you were kind of wondering what the fuck is going on that other side. I mean, again, great performances. I thought the gore was done very well. I thought some of the sequences... Now, obviously, you have to suspend, another mixed thing about the film. You have to suspend belief sometimes when it comes to these movies. I mean, if your daughter's fucking running around your crawl space at the speed of light, would you call the doctor and ask them for a second opinion? Probably. If your daughter's toenail comes off and pulls the skin off her shin with it, would you call the hospital and see if you need to go to A&E? Probably. But this is a horror film. You have to suspend belief and just roll with what they're putting in front of you, okay? Again, I enjoyed the beginning. I thought the beginning was very strong. The comedy from the younger daughter was brilliant. And the general vibe of the first act of the film I thought was very good. Then, as far as the second act, getting into things, bringing Katie home. When she's found, she's advised to go home to rest up. Everything will become back to normal. But they realize very soon that things couldn't be any fucking different from normal. And I was satisfied with the third act. Now, it felt like it had the most perfect ending, and it felt like it could have just cut to black there and then. But we have about 8 or 10 minutes after that moment. And I'd heard a lot of reviewers say that fucked them off. The film would have suited them just being 10 minutes shorter, but the final 10 minutes, I am behind it. I know the moment where they say the film could have ended perfectly, but I am also behind the moment with the extra 10 minutes to give you a little bit of a juicy action at the end. My only negatives in this film, which I'm delighted to say, I spent from Wednesday night watching Cody Leach, Chris Stuckman, all my American reviewer guys. I fucking love them all. Massive shout out to them all. But they were all given a mixed to negative view on this film because it didn't feel like a mummy movie. It was too much Evil Dead, too much Exorcist, too long, too much explanation. I was so pleasantly surprised that I found myself, me and Brother Jer, found ourselves enjoying the film immensely. I found the pace to be absolutely perfect. Don't listen to people saying it's the goriest, most terrifying thing you've ever seen, because it's fucking not. It's unnerving, it's edgy, it's tense, it's dark, it's grim. But I personally don't find it scary. Films are films. I don't find them scary, except for The Shining and The Entity. Jesus Christ, The Entity is the most terrifying film ever made. End quote. But this was not scary, but it was tense, it was thrilling, it was very well made, and had a really gnarly third act and a really batshit bonkers ending. It was awesome. Now, getting on to the negatives just before I finish off on this review. My only negative of the film is, unfortunately, the casting of Jack Reynor as Charlie. I think he just brought nothing to the role. I mean, every situation in the film, I mean, the film is batshit crazy, but he just had this wide-eyed, shocked look no matter what was going on. And what he was looking at and what was going on in the film was fucking mind-blowingly disturbing and fucked. And no matter what the situation was in the film, he was just wide-eyed and that shocked look. So I think, unfortunately, he is capable, but I think he was miscast in this film, Jack Reynor, as the lead of Charlie, the father. I mean, granted, you're looking for Irish actors. I mean, Lee Cronin picked some Irish talent for this film, but I mean, if I had to pick anyone for the lead role of Charlie, I totally would have had Robbie Walsh. Robbie Walsh, writer, director, actor here from Swords in Dublin. He would have, I even said it to Jared during the film. I go, honest to God, Robbie Walsh would have been fucking perfect in the lead for this film. But Jack Reynor, maybe he's the flavour of the month when it comes to Irish actors. You know, we got Cillian Murphy, Colin Farrell. I mean, maybe third, fourth or fifth on the list is Jack Reynor. But in my personal opinion, watching the film, the first thing that came to my mind is that fucking Robbie Walsh would have been perfect in the lead role in that. But you know what? That's just my opinion. And you know what? I'm entitled to it. Drop a comment below if you saw the movie. I thought all the other performances were absolutely brilliant. The film really delivered. I'm glad it wasn't overly gory like everyone was fucking banging on that it was. The scariest film, you're gonna get sick, it's vile. Get a grip, please. Fucking movie propaganda. I thought it had the perfect amount, and I do think now granted it wasn't the most unique story you've ever seen on The Mummy. It's more or less around what you'd expect, but I thought it was a unique enough take on it to stand alone. Does it deserve to be called Lee Cronin's The Mummy? No. Because you got to earn that. 3 movies in, you don't get your name on anything. Like Lee Cronin's The Mummy, as if he fucking penned The Mummy back in the 1930s and it's his fucking franchise. No, it's just Blumhouse putting a fucking Irish fella's name on his movie. But as things go on, I think he's capable one day down the line when he's paid his dues and, you know, did his movies, that he will be able to put his name over movies with pride when he discovers a franchise of his own and brings out something unique and different that belongs solely to him. And you know what? I think he's absolutely capable. I think he's an incredible director. I think he's got a great eye. The writing in this, again, it would be in the mixed as well. The writing in parts was a bit iffy, but generally it was very good. It was very tense and very well filmed. It had some great tension, some great set pieces, and some great one-liners from Katie as we'll call her the troubled young lady who was found mummified 8 years after her disappearance. So, the bottom line is, Lee Cronin's The Mummy, 2026 supernatural horror film from Dublin's finest, Lee Cronin. My proverbial hat is off to you, brother. Major respect. You have, as far as I've seen The Hole in the Ground and I've seen Evil Dead Rise, this is easily, heads and tails, your best effort of the 3. Fair fucking play to you. Congratulations. I couldn't be happier for you, brother. But keep it going. Keep the originality going. I like what you did with this movie. I thought it was fun. I hope you make some serious fucking money on this, man. Because it's a very fucking cool movie. And a very gnarly experience in the cinema. The sound design, the way it looked. I mean, just a couple of issues with the casting. That's, in my opinion, again, it's just my opinion. I'm just laying it down, brother. But massive congrats to Lee Cronin, Scary's Dublin, Ireland, fucking ole, Ireland dipping its big big Irish toe into the horror scene. And you know what? Very, very fucking good film. 4 out of 5 stars. We have 4 out of 5 stars for Lee Cronin's The Mummy. And in closing, get yourself to the movies and support this movie. It's strictly over 18s, and I do agree, no younger teenagers allowed. 18s on the nose. Get yourself, your wife, your older grown-up kids out to this movie and enjoy a crazy fucking wild ride. Get out to the film, get some extra large popcorns and extra large cokes, and check out this. I would have loved. There's no warnings here. It's got some gore, it's got some nastiness, but if you're used to the genre, it should be no issue to you. But anyone who's never watched a horror film in your life and has no experience with supernatural horror to the extent of kind of Evil Dead and The Exorcist, you may find yourself with your head in your hands. But for an experienced moviegoer like yours truly, and a self-professed horror nut, for Philbo, it was just some, to quote Cody Leach, some fucking awesome carnage candy. Check it out, 4 out of 5 stars. Get yourselves to the cinema this weekend and check out Lee Cronin's The Mummy. And support a Dublin-based director who is fucking rising and rising and rising and rising. And this film is a perfect example that he is on the right road to absolute legdom. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, be sure to hype the video if you like. It gets it more out into the algorithm. Love The Mummy. Lee Cronin's The Mummy. Had a great fucking time. And yeah, delighted. 4 out of 5. Fucking happy days. Thanks for watching. May the sun always shine. Yours truly, Philbo, is well and truly outbo.